Hello. Welcome to the Goods. I know that you have been looking at us wearing our Fly Goods podcast gear and wondering where can we get those. Well, guess what? We have the answers for you. We have it here, Teespring. Go to Teespring and you will find all of this glorious merchandising, from t-shirts to mugs to, well, there's other toys, but we can't talk about that now. Go to Teespring, enjoy our memorabilia.
And we're back! All flash!
No substance.
So today's top 5 is to honor on his 85th birthday week,
God,
Jack Nicholson.
That is so old.
I mean, look at him.
He's so old.
Hey man, you know what?
But he's still here, so I mean,
there aren't that many people out there where you have one name and everybody knows who it is. Obviously, you have your Madonnas and all that. I got it.
You say Jack,
but you just say Jack. You already know who it is, and he's a freaking legend, icon. He's everything, man. He is one of the best freaking actors like of all time. And to be honest with you, the closest one that I can think of that can kind of come close to Jack Nicholson right now is Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is probably the closest that I can think of that can pull off a lot of the same type of roles than Jack Nicholson does. But there is only one Jack.
No, I'll give you there's only one Jack Nicholson. So I definitely give you that one. I mean, but I feel like Hollywood does have, especially like established actors, where they could either do similar roles or they could do something completely different, and they always sell you on it. And yeah. No, Jack Nicholson is definitely one, but I'd say like Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and stuff like that. Where they could do similar and they could do different, and you'd still be like, oh, okay, I get you. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're Cuban. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, come here.
Yeah, okay.
But
Pacino.
you know, well, by the way, and we've said it before, that's the only whitewashing that we approve is Al Pacino and Scarface. That's the only whitewashing we approve.
No. Anyway. And
Robert Downey Jr. Tropic Thunder. That's blackface though. That's different. That's only blackface that we approve.
All right, only whitewashing, the only blackface.
Exactly. Terrence, go first.
That's hilarious. All right, so guys, in doing my research, #research, and doing my research for this Jack Nicholson top 5 films, I realized I'm not a big Jack Nicholson fan. There's a lot of movies I have not seen. I know there's a lot of Jack Nicholson movies that I haven't seen, but luckily, I've seen 5.
So we'll have no honorable mentions.
We'll have no honorable mentions. All right, so number 5. Number 5, and this one's a favorite of mine, and I'm sure it's probably not gonna be in your list, but I went with Wolf.
Okay.
All right. So I really like Wolf. For a couple different reasons. One is because it's basically the werewolf version of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay.
Because it's a horror and a romance at the same time.
Right.
And I feel like it's a sequel to Teen Wolf. It's the adult version. It's Adult Wolf.
Adult Wolf.
It's Adult Wolf.
It's Old Man Wolf.
It's Old Man Wolf. Because his life got better once he became a werewolf.
Okay.
As like we were thinking about like Michael J. Fox when he was he was a teen.
He dies in this. How does his life?
This is the end of the whole series.
No, he becomes a full.
This is Teen Wolf 3. Adult Wolf.
He goes full blown wolf in this.
There you go. Look, this is Teen Wolf 3, Adult Wolf, and this is how it ends. He dies. I'm sorry. That's how the Teen Wolf saga ends. We never got a Teen Wolf 3. This was it. It was called Wolf. It didn't start Jack Nicholson. But yeah, like look, he did a great. It was like, hey, his life kind of sucked. He gets bitten by a wolf because, I mean, people were trying to steal his job, and like then, you know, because of the hormones and his pheromones and stuff like that, his life gets better. And it's a romance, and I'm not a big person on romances, but when you involve horror into it, then I'm on board. But yeah, when I watched this film when I was younger, I actually dug it because they did a lot of vampire movies, and I'm a big werewolf person. We had the top 5 werewolf films, and I was really into that one. So I'm a big werewolf person.
Wow. So that's great. So, okay, so because I'm a vampire person.
Yeah, so I'm a big werewolf person.
Okay.
So I like wolf movies, and this one's a great one.
Except American Werewolf.
And
that's my favorite.
Even though at the time when it came out, I was like, they should have cast younger.
They should have cast Ming-Na.
They should have cast Ming-Na for this role. But they should have cast younger. But he did a great job in it to really like, I get it. Okay. All right.
Okay. How about this? How about the fact that because of his the way his face is, his face.
Yeah, he was like,
his
oh, and he
bone
was like kind of
structure
broken down, and then like when he became the wolf, he became younger.
No, but I'm just saying like the way Jack
like
Nicholson
the
has a
prosthetic.
distinctive. No, he himself has a distinctive face.
Yes, of course.
That's what made
It was like Willem Dafoe.
Right. Him as a werewolf was freaking terrifying.
Yes, definitely.
He looked terrifying.
Like I like the horror aspect of this film.
And how about freaking Michelle Pfeiffer looking gorgeous on it, especially when she
Look,
turns?
you cast Michelle Pfeiffer in anything, and it's gonna be on my top 5 list.
Okay, cool.
All right. Number 4. All right, so number 4, I went with, and I chose this one because he's not the focal point of this film, and it's more of a small part, but an important part. A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men.
There you go.
That's
so,
right.
Look, his
important piece too.
The most important piece, the scene-stealing portion of the movie, and it was like, hey, his character is there to basically, take over the movie. That's the most important part of this film that you can remember from it is the courtroom scene where he just admits, like that's the only way that they can win is that if he admits guilt and like because of his pompous attitude. His arrogance. That's the word I was looking for. His arrogance. He was like, "Yeah, I'll tell you. What are you gonna do about it? You don't know. You can't handle the truth." And it was a great performance. And
nominated for an Oscar.
Yes, definitely. And we almost forget Tom Cruise is in that movie. He just basically was there to kind of help Jack Nicholson deliver lines. Nope, he was there to help Jack Nicholson.
Tom Cruise. That's like my favorite Tom Cruise movie of all time.
He was there to help Jack Nicholson deliver lines. That's what he was there for.
He was the understudy for Jack Nicholson.
It was a great scene, and like I said, he wasn't the biggest portion of this movie. It was Tom Cruise. I will give you that. It was Tom Cruise. But it was such the most important part of the movie because that's what everybody remembers and takes away from this film is his scene in the courtroom when he finally admits that like I was behind. Was it Code Red or Code? Yeah, it was Code Red. I gave the order. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like Pookie and New Jack. Important piece.
Very much so.
Number three.
And this one's for Art.
The Departed. For you, Art.
Oh, this is from Art. So he plays a mob boss, which the Costello. That's a weird mob boss name, right?
But he's actually supposed to be Whitey Bulger.
Ah, that's right. I remember hearing something about that.
Yeah.
And it's if you haven't seen Departed, it's about them like, hey, it was kind of like Spy versus Spy. It was like, hey, we're gonna bring up some guys from the neighborhood and we're gonna get them in the police department and they're gonna be puppets for us in the police department, and then the police are like, hey, we're gonna involve somebody infiltrating the mob and we're gonna get them to kind of work their way up in the ranks in the mob. So it's a great kind of back and forth, like who's gonna do their job and try not to kind of get found out on both sides. But and then you find out that, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Departed, that Jack Nicholson, Costello's behind, is the informant behind
the whole time.
The whole time. But it's like he has a great performance because it reminds me a lot of what's the one with him and Johnny Depp? Not him and Johnny Depp, but Pacino and Johnny Depp.
Donnie Brasco.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Donnie Brasco. It reminds me a lot of Donnie Brasco.
That's a good version.
Because it's kind of like showing you the ropes and what goes behind it, and kind of like the in and outs and the kind of dirty side and like not popular, it's like the non-glamorized side of the mob, and it was like, and how he has to hide. But look, Jack Nicholson did a great job. He was the perfect casting for this, and I'm glad they didn't cast Pacino, because that seemed like that would have been a role they would have cast Pacino for. Or De Niro for. And I'm glad that they went with Jack Nicholson, but it was like, because it was a different face in it, and it gave us a different type of performance in that particular role.
And a fantastic cast.
Oh, it was a great cast. It was a great cast. I was for you, Art.
Number two.
All right, so moving on up, we're gonna get to the ones that should be on the list, right? And obviously, we started with The Departed. That one definitely should have been on the list. But we're gonna go into The Shining.
The Shining. Okay.
All right, so look, this is a great look into a man losing his mind. I'm not sure that when I watched this movie several times, at first it was, okay, the place is haunted and it's possessing him, driving him mad. I think now, later in my life, that I've seen it, is that he's just showing a man losing his mind. And it's more a psychological thing about somebody who just falls apart and their madness, as opposed to the place actually being haunted.
Yeah.
But he did a great job showing that transition as being a loving husband, trying to provide for his family and a new job, wanting to do something different. And also, hey, like, I'm trying to do my hobby in my love life. Yeah, man, in writing. And it's like, and because of his stresses between family and work and stuff like that,
he breaks.
He just breaks.
He cracks.
No, it's like he did a great job in this and showing it was like loving husband to psychomaniac. And that showed you the range of Jack Nicholson, and that was one of the things that I guess made him stand out to where he's had such a great run in Hollywood in films, because he has that type of range where he can be one character and totally turn on a dime, become another character.
Okay.
So I know everybody's probably seen The Shining at this point, and if you haven't seen The Shining, what's wrong with you? If you're a horror fan, or if you watch this channel, you should have
It
seen
is
The Shining.
law
by now.
that you have to watch The Shining
Yes,
if
you
you're a
have to
horror
watch
fan.
Shining. You have to watch Shining. I mean, they're going to show it on every channel on Halloween anyway. All right.
Number one.
This is such an easy
is
one.
Batman.
This is such an easy one. Yeah, I told you there's 5 films I've seen with Jack Nicholson in it. Obviously, Batman's going to be on there.
Okay.
Look, once again, another casting where I'm like, he's so old.
I mean, look at
He's old. But one of my favorite Batman. I mean, one of my favorite Jokers.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite Jokers. I was like,
Absolutely.
he did such a
top
great
2, man, top 3.
job playing the gangster, playing the psychotic, to where he was funny. He was scary and he was funny at the same time. And I think that's like a balance not all people who play Joker have been able to do. I think everybody's moved to scary, and nobody does that whole fact that, hey, the Joker can be hilarious at sometimes, to where like he's never rub another man's rhubarb. I still don't understand that saying, but it's a great saying. I had to look it up on the internet, and I was like, what is this saying based on?
How about how you were talking about
Bob, you're not my number one.
He's doing Jack Palance over there. No, but you were talking about right now about The Shining and how he was able to really do that duality between the two, right? Between the madman and then the loving husband.
Right.
Well, in this one, you know, his portrayal of Jack Napier is just as good as the Joker. You know?
Yes.
You look fine. I didn't ask.
Yes.
Awesome line. This is the freaking best line like ever. But you know, so his portrayal of Jack Napier was just as important. But when he locked on, he was basically Jack Torrance.
Okay.
As the Joker, basically, he got out of the Overlook Hotel. He melted from the ice, and he became Jack Napier. He became exactly.
Okay, and the Joker and everything. Oh, yeah. Look, it's a great film. I mean, I can go on about Batman, but like Jack Nicholson's performance as a Joker, I feel like that's why nobody does that, because I don't think anybody feels like they can touch that performance. So they just try to do something different.
He was probably the sole selling point,
of course,
of that movie.
More than Michael Keaton, because I think Jack Nicholson was one of the headliners of this movie.
He was the top.
So he was top billed. Yeah, so
and he was so smart. He got a percentage of the gross, and the merchandise.
Yeah, so
with his
he
likeness.
ain't got to do another movie if you don't want to do another movie.
Yeah,
I'm still bringing in that
Yeah,
Batman movie, Batman money.
Exactly.
And that's my top 5.
All right.
5 movies I actually saw.
I've seen a lot of Jack Nicholson films, but you know, I knew that we were gonna have the same freaking list. I already know it, but it's okay.
Right, I picked the ones I seen.
Number 5.
No,
Number 5. I'm actually gonna start with A Few Good Men, only because of the amount of screen time that he was on.
Yes.
But he was so damn good in it, so mesmerizing, that you cannot freaking walk away from that movie without talking about that courtroom scene.
Yes.
And basically his whole freaking screen time. Every scene that he's in, he steals. So yeah, absolutely.
I would buy
Number
him
5.
as a colonel in the military. That was like, I feel like, and for you guys who don't know me, I actually do work for the military. They're kind of like that.
Yeah.
They're kind of like that.
What do you think of Kendrick? Yeah, I think he's pretty slime myself. Yeah, I love it. Number 4. Number 4 is this is actually really is one of my favorites, and that's As Good as It Gets.
Okay, I've never seen it.
Is
that the one with the dog?
Yeah.
Okay, I just remember the
great
poster of it with
cast.
the dog.
Him, Greg Kinnear, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Man, I haven't heard Greg Kinnear's name in forever.
Yeah, well.
What happened to Greg Kinnear?
Unfortunately, I just heard Cuba Gooding Jr.'s, and it's not in a good light. But anyway, Cuba was in there, and Helen Hunt. It was such a great movie. You know, he won the Oscar for this movie. It was in '97. I remember this.
Man.
I remember this straight up because this is the first time that I worked at a movie theater. Coincidentally, the same movie theater that I'm at now. But it was 1997. As Good as It Gets versus Titanic.
Oh, yeah.
December 19th, 1997. That weekend was shit because we got our ass handed to us. And yeah, but the movie itself, phenomenal. Great freaking movie. Great balance.
Maybe one day.
And
Maybe
it
one day
showed
I'll
you,
see it.
and it showed you, the how OCD can really affect somebody, having OCD, because his character has OCD in it.
Okay.
So yeah, and he's just phenomenal in that movie. Number three is also The Departed.
Of course.
Of course.
I knew we were going
For
to
you,
only
Art.
have one movie off, and it was going to be The Wolf.
And it was gonna be as good as it gets.
And that was good as it gets. But for you, Art, Departed.
The Departed, and there's nothing much more I can say with the exception of the fact that he was basically portraying Whitey Bulger, and he was freaking phenomenal in this movie. His chemistry with Leonardo DiCaprio was freaking fantastic.
Yes.
I loved every minute of it. One of my favorites for sure.
Man.
Number two.
Art, if we could figure out a way to put heat in here, maybe it was a cameo from Jack.
If we did a 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, I know, right?
Who was in Heat that was in The Departed? We're gonna have to think about that one.
Right.
Number two. I'm actually putting Batman at number 2.
Really?
I am putting Batman at
Okay.
number 2. Even though, yes, he was straight up the selling point. The minute that you saw him put the paper down and say, "Wait till they get a load of me," on the trailer, sold. Here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Here's my money.
And they knew it in the trailer. They were like, "Oh, when they see this part,
yes,
tickets gonna be
that
sold."
part on the trailer automatically gave them $100 million.
Yep. And back then, $100 million was $1 billion.
Yes, it was. So yeah, absolutely. Number 2 is Batman '89. Number one's The Shining,
The
and
Shining.
it has to be because you cannot. Kubrick was freaking phenomenal directing that. Even though Stephen King didn't like this adaptation, it didn't matter.
By the way, they're always changing Stephen King's movies, so I think we should stop giving Stephen King credit for his books and just say he's good at ideas.
He's the Vince Russo.
Yeah, no, he's good at ideas. Because my daughter read The Running Man, and I showed her the movie, and then she read the book, and she was like, "The book sucks. The movie's so much better."
Yeah. Stand By Me and the Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption is better
The
than...
book's so slow. The movie is like, couldn't he have just wrote that? And I was like, that's a lot of things that happen in his movies. But back to The Shining.
but Kubrick directed it great, obviously based off Stephen King, but the horror elements in this and how he handles everything and how he slowly starts, you can see the descend into madness, and it's mesmerizing, and you just can't keep your eyes off of him. And you know what? Hats off, man. Shelley Duvall was freaking phenomenal in that
Olive
movie
oil.
too. Olive oil, man. She that's all she did the whole movie.
That scene is just like unforgettable.
Yeah. Don't ever do that again.
Oh my god.
Anyway, honorable mentions.
Tell her to stop doing that. Where's the special edition when they cut that out?
Honorable mentions.
Oh man.
You have none.
I have none because I didn't see any other movies besides this. I know there was other movies he was in. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I know he was in that movie.
What cover boxes do you remember
The
watching at
Pledge.
Blockbuster?
He was in that movie too.
He was in The Pledge. Yes, he was.
What's the movies that you said? As Good as It Gets. He was
Yeah.
in that movie too. What's on the wall back here that I can see that he was in?
He was in. Oh, I can't believe you, dude. He was in freaking Chinatown.
He was in Chinatown. I heard that maybe he was possibly in that movie.
All right. My honorable mention starts with Chinatown. Actually, really good film noir type of film. Nice detective story.
Sorry, this is one of those top fives I would have normally vetoed, but I was like, he really wants to do it, so let's
because
do
it's
it.
Jack, you got to.
Because I would have been like, I really don't know that many movies.
So
of
if you
his.
like, and ironically, he was in Chinatown. He plays the Joker, and the Batman that just came out is basically Chinatown. Chinatown.
There you go. Look,
So there you go.
all the good DC films are based on something else.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That is absolutely a phenomenal cast. You get Christopher Lloyd in that, Danny DeVito, Louise Fletcher, who won the Oscar. You got freaking the voice of Chucky's in there, Brad Dourif in there. Everybody is in this freaking movie, but Nicholson.
I remember
steals
when
it.
I remember when I
Amazing.
was a kid that when they used to show movies like on regular network television, just in the middle of the day or stuff like that on the weekends. I remember like damn near every weekend. And coming up next, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I'd be like, all right, I'm done. I'm going outside, and I would literally just go. I would go outside. I wouldn't watch the movie. So it's funny that like all these years, I still have not seen that movie.
If you'd have seen it, you'd have been able to.
It'd been on my list.
All right.
I'd been arguing between that and Wolf.
Speaking of lists, the bucket list with him and Morgan Freeman.
Oh Yeah.
Did you see that one?
I didn't watch that movie.
Great freaking movie.
I saw a trailer for it. I know it exists.
Him and Morgan Freeman are absolutely phenomenal together. Check out the bucket list.
Was he in Red? He wasn't in Red. No.
No, that
He's the only old person that wasn't in Red.
no. I mean, yeah.
He's the only old person that
I
wasn't in
guess.
Red.
Anyway, I said Wolf too.
Yeah.
He's freaking awesome in Wolf. Hoffa.
So look, I saw that he was in the movie Hoffa, and I could not remember this movie even coming out. And I do remember the
90, I want to say. It
the
came out in
Scorsese
1990.
movie for Netflix where
Irishman.
yeah, The Irishman was supposed to have been about Jimmy Hoffa. Well, it was about Jimmy Hoffa.
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, how did I not know that he was in this movie?
As a matter of fact,
I mean, not in that movie, but in a movie about Hoffa.
after seeing The Irishman,
Because I felt like that was the only movie that was about Hoffa, and I was like, and then I looked it up, and I was like, when did this movie come out?
yeah, 1990. This was actually, I want to say DeVito directed this.
Oh, wow.
DeVito's in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 1990. I remember this. I remember seeing the cover box too. I think it was 90 or 92, one of those. But after seeing The Irishman, I had to go back and see Hoffa because Pacino was great as Hoffa, but I've always wanted to see what Nicholson was like. So I went back and watched it. And
So this
yeah,
will probably be
he
the
was
only
really
one
good
I'll
in that movie.
actually go watch because I do like mobster-like films like this, and I was surprised I did not really even know about this film. So I will actually go see this one.
Mars Attacks.
That's not a good movie.
He was cool in it.
That's not a good
All right.
movie. I tried to convince myself when I went to go see this movie when it first came out that it was gonna be a good movie, and I sat there and was like, "Oh, I'm enjoying this. Yeah, I'm laughing.
Sarah
Oh,
Jessica
this is-
Parker's a
This
dog.
is-
I don't
this
know
is
how
a-
she is.
This is great. I am so glad I spent money on this movie."
All right, last one is The Witches of Eastwick with him, Susan Sarandon.
yeah, it was a
Michelle.
small- it was a
Michelle,
smaller part,
Was
yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer in that? She was in that with
no.
Cher. Was
Was
Cher? Witches Cher,
Cher,
Susan
Susan
Sarandon,
Sarandon.
and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Was it?
I think it was Michelle
I
Pfeiffer.
gotta look that up.
We have to look that one up. So that's two that he was with Catwoman. All right. So that's my honorable
I mean,
mentions.
because they're gonna be like some stories that came out about their little like flings on the side.
Hey, I'll watch. Terrence, take us home.
All right, guys. If you've seen more than 5 Jack Nicholson movies, sorry, I'm
Jack
saying
Nicklaus? Yeah, we're playing golf, too.
Nicholas Jack movies. If you see more than 5 of his films, make sure you put it in the comments below. Hopefully, they're different from the 6 films that we actually named for you.
I had more than you did.
Yeah, you did in honorable mentions. So obviously,
I can say Terms of Endearment too.
his
but
best movies are these 6 movies.
Terms of Endearment, he was fantastic in that movie
It
too.
wasn't on your top 5.
No,
was
it was not.
There
It
you go.
was-
So his best
I just
movies.
said it for my
he
honorable
has
mentions.
he has 6 good movies.
No, he does not.
He's got 6, possibly 7 good movies. Because we'll take Terms of Endearment. No, Hoffa. We're gonna take that one because I'm gonna see that one.
Okay, so you got 3. Hold on. You before you keep on. You got 3. You got 3 straight up properties.
Right.
And you tell me which one's the best fit for him. Okay.
Okay.
Marvel, DC, or Star Wars. Which let's.
I don't want to see him in Marvel or DC. So I'm
Let's
gonna go Star Wars.
Okay, I was about to say I know he was already in DC, but let's just. I was gonna talk about now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Star Wars. I'm gonna go Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah. Because like in this incarnation of DC, I don't think he fits in that.
Sith?
And I like his personality. I can't see how he would definitely fit in Marvel. So the only thing I could think of, I would think like he would be part of the Empire somewhere. Like,
I was about to say
maybe,
Sith or
no,
Jedi.
I wouldn't even say that. He's like he'd be like some admiral or something.
I just couldn't take him seriously. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I could. It was like he was like destroy that rebel base. I'd be like, yeah, you tell him, Jack.
Is that the truth? You can.
These rebels can't handle the truth. Subscribe. Click the notification button, guys. Come back and see more videos. We do more videos, and hopefully better than this one. Also, too, make sure you go to our Teespring/Amazon store and buy some merch. That Amazon store is a real thing. It is available. You'll see the link now. I know we have a video at the beginning of it that only talks about Teespring. We're going to be fixing that sooner or later. But definitely look at the links below. You can order it on Amazon as well. Get some merch. It is very affordable, and it helps us, please. And go to Patreon and give us money.
For Carla and Art,
Patreon
wherever the hell they're at, and Aspen, who is recovering from getting her wisdom teeth pulled out.
That's just not a recovery. You just go home, you take a nap, you get up the next day.
Love you, babe. Hope you're okay.
It's like saying I'm recovering from like pulling my nail or something. You get up, you just shake it off.
We'll see you next time.
Real quick, if you're still here, because we do these into the video little blooper things. If you're still here, look down. There's a link here for Patreon. If you guys like the show, please give us money. We'll take a penny. We'll take a nickel. We'll take a dime. We'll take $1. We have some stuff on there that we're giving away on Patreon if you do contribute, because trust me, we need help. We want to buy new equipment, and we need an editor. Somebody who doesn't have to stay up in the middle of the night. Or they don't have to stay up in the middle, but I won't have to do it. So please, down patreon.com/thegoods. It's in the link. Please do it. We appreciate it.